Number 8, tall, dark, and handsome cannot be the only thing that you want. And I know we as kids will grow up and say, okay, I want a Boris Koche, I want a Beyonce, I want this. Guys, those things are not important. You'll miss the one who loves you, who is not any of those things, but the husband who will love you, a husband who will provide for you, a husband who will take care of you when you are sick, a husband who will take care of the family, a husband who will protect you, but he is not cute. Number 1 red flag is desperation. You date someone today, baby, I love you, or these pastors who like saying, God showed me, you my wife, okay, prepare, I'm bringing my parents next week. Hello, welcome to my world where I tell my truth. My name is Lindy Cherise, and in today's video, I'm introducing a new series about marriage. Guys, I won't be focusing only on this series, but then I will post videos now and then on marriage. So just to start this series well, I decided that I will start a video where we include those who are not married but in a process of getting married or in a relationship. And how do you identify your one? How do you see that this person is actually your husband or your wife? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 signs that you can use in order to identify a person if they are your husband, your soulmate, or your wife. And please do remember that some of these things might not apply to you. God is the only one who can actually direct you into the person that you can marry. But I believe that God has given us choice to make our choice, but it doesn't mean that when you make a bad decision, God will just let you go there and get banned. Or maybe you might let you go there and get banned so that you can learn and grow, so that next time you don't make the same mistake. So without wasting time, let me list 10 signs that you can use to identify. And at the end of this video, I'll be sharing 5 things that maybe are red signs that you need to run when you see those things happening. So without wasting time, let's just go to number 1. Number 1 is the person needs to love you as much as they love themselves. I mean, I cannot say I love myself, I bath myself, I take care of myself, I feed myself, and then whenever a person comes into a relationship and that person is supposed to be my husband and I do not love them with the same love that I have. And as we know that God is love, so anyone around us must be loved with the same love that we love God. There's so many things that you can check in a person, and do remember that we're not perfect, but then there's things that you can accept, there's things that you cannot accept. So that's the first thing, that person must love you. Number 2, the guy must spiritually lead you. I mean, you want a person who's going to lead your family, and if he cannot lead you while you are dating, he cannot direct you spiritually into God, and also he is not receiving from God. Remember, the same way that Christ is leading us, we need a man that will listen to Christ and draw from Christ. And then, same way, he must spiritually lead you. You do not want a guy where your spiritual life is higher and the guy, he's not spiritually there, and then you expect that same person to spiritually lead the family. I mean, guys are leaders, and if he cannot lead you while you are dating, how is he going to lead a family? How is he going to lead your kids? So you need a person who prays, you need a person who loves God, you need a person who draws from Christ and also will spiritually lead you. And also make sure that you and him are aligned when it comes to the belief that you have. You do not want to go out with someone who has a separate belief, and that belief says maybe he believes in ancestors, or maybe he believes in a belief that you do not believe in. So you need to ask this question, because that's the most important. You do not want a family that is divided. Every Saturday when you go to church, that person is going somewhere, or maybe that person will come to your home one day and that person is busy with sangomas or mutis everywhere. You want to be in the same page while it's still early. Do not wait for 3 weeks before you find out if this person believes in God or doesn't believe in God. So you want to make sure that this person can spiritually lead. And spiritually lead you, it simply means that person must take you to heaven one day. Obviously, we are all responsible for our faith. We are all responsible for our lives as Christians. But that person must be a leader that will take you to God. So if he doesn't believe, guys, you cannot be equally yoked. I mean, marriage is actually, you leave your family, you cleave, and then you weave, where you become one. And the Bible also says that how can two walk together unless if they agree? So you need to agree when it comes to spirituality. That is so important, guys. That is so important. Number 3, the guy must be willing to wait for you. Sex before marriage, it is a sin. Sex before marriage, it is a sin. And there is no better way to see if someone loves you. If someone is going to push you, or if someone is going to pressurize you, or if someone is going to say, I can't control myself, then you know if this person can control themselves around you, how are they going to control themselves out there? So this person must be willing to wait for you. If someone loves you so much, Pella, you like a flower. So if you are a flower, a person who just comes and wants to sleep with you, it's like they are pulling their flower petals and destroying even before you get married. And what guarantee do you have that this person will actually marry you? So don't. You rather not sleep with someone until lobola is paid, until you are married. And you do not want to start a foundation of your marriage with sin, guys. You want to start on a right note where you know that God is actually obeyed more than anything else. Because if you both can't obey God, then what makes you think that in future your husband or even you will obey God? So it's important to make sure that you wait, guys. And if he doesn't want to wait and want to break this beautiful flower and want to weave and be one with you even before marriage and doesn't care what God is saying about sex before marriage, then guys, I think that relationship is not going to work. Number 4, you must be a priority in his life. And I've seen relationships where a person will say, oh, he doesn't call me, or he was busy the whole week with meetings, or maybe he doesn't even have time to call me during the day. I mean, how can you spend a day or even 2 days without calling the person that you are crazy in love with? So guys, that shows something that you are not a priority in that relationship. He rather spends time with his friends. He rather spend time with his family and not even call you and not even communicate with you. And communication is important when you start dating a person, because those are the things that you need to discuss on what's going to happen in your marriage. So if you are not already a priority in his life, and the Bible is saying that he must leave his family and come and live with you and with you, how is he going to do that if you're not a priority while you're dating? Because when you become a wife, he's comfortable, he already has you. How is he going to make you a priority then? So you need to see while you are dating that you are a priority. And when I say a priority, I mean he calls you, he takes care of you, he checks you. And that doesn't mean that he only does that for a woman. You as a woman as well, you also need to make sure that he is a priority in your life, because you will be married one day. And then the Bible is saying that the first thing is God who's a priority. The next thing is the husband and wife, and then the kids, and then the family, and everyone follows. So guys, you need to be a priority in that relationship. You do not want to be stuck somewhere while getting kidnapped, and then you try to call your husband, and then since you're not a priority, he doesn't return your calls, or since you're not a priority, he doesn't call back, and then the next thing you'll be in some other strange country not being checked. So guys, you need to know whether you are okay, whether you are healthy, and even when you are sick, are you a priority? Does that person come and try and take care of you, or does he bring medication? So there's so many things that you can check to see if you are a priority in his life, or you are a priority in her life. If you're not a priority and his friends or her friends are a priority, and then that's the marriage you're going to have. So that's number 4. Number 5, you do not need to prove yourself. I mean, I see so many girls, and also me at some point, I needed to prove myself to a guy. And then by proving yourself, I simply mean like already when you're doing washing, already you cooking, already you're doing everything, already when you taking care of everything before you become a married person, before he marries you. You do not need to prove yourself that way, where you become a slave for someone and you're doing all these things, and then at the end of the day you find someone who doesn't even clean or who doesn't even do anything for him, and then he will go and marry that person. So you do not need to prove yourself. Sometimes people prove themselves so much that they will do washing already, and then they will feel they need to sleep with them, and then they will feel they need to do all these other things where you're already a wife. And before you even become a wife, a guy must work and pay lobola and then marry you, and then you can start doing those things. So I do not mean that when you go and visit him and see the house, it's untidy, you do not pack it. But then I'm saying now that maybe he gets rid of his helper, or he gets rid of whoever does his washing, and then all of a sudden all of that is on you. You're not a wife already. You're not a husband. So even for a woman, some women would expect the man to pay for everything. Already when are you paying for her hair? Already when are you paying for everything? She goes out with her friends. You're the one who's paying. So you're already proving yourself too much. You're not even a husband. You're not even planning and saving money together. You rather take that money and save it together for your future, for your wedding, for your marriage, for your house, for your kids, instead of proving to each other while you are dating. The only proving that you need to do is to love each other, and that love doesn't involve you being a slave. It doesn't involve you popping out your money, because what you do while you are dating, that's the same thing that you will do while you are married. For example, if while you're dating already your girlfriend is taking all your salary, that's not right. How are you going to lead that family? How are you going to plan for the finances of that house? So you guys need to make sure that you do not prove yourself using these other methods. Prove the love that you have. Prove the communication that you need to have, the conversations that you need to have, your future on what you want in your life. Don't use all these other things which are unnecessary trying to prove yourself, because some other people will just come and they won't need to prove themselves, and that person will be married. Number 6, does he respect you? Does she respect you? One thing that is so important when you are married is respect. Guys, you'll be living together for the rest of your life. So if you can't respect each other while you are dating, I remember when we were dating and early in our marriage, and then we had an argument with my husband, and then he said, and I started shouting, and then he said, you will never, ever talk to me like that. Respect in this marriage will be maintained. If you have any problem, you sit down and talk like adults. And ever since that day, respect is maintained. Just because you are in a relationship, a person cannot insult you, a person cannot call you the F word, a person cannot do any of those things, even abuse you emotionally, and you think that person is respecting you. So respect must start there. If you say something bad in front of everyone and everyone can hear that, and then you let it go, respect must be maintained, because the same respect that you use while you are dating, that's the same respect that you take into your marriage. So these are the habits that you need to start learning while you are dating. So whatever you do while you are dating, you need to make sure that that's the same thing that you will take to your marriage. So respect is important. If he respects you, then he will make sure that you are well protected, because you want someone who will cover you when you are not there. Even when you are wrong, it's between you and him, not everyone else. So if you are not respected now, you won't be respected even in the future. Number 7. No competition, guys. We are in this time where women are earning more than men. So if you're already competing with this person, or you're competing with your salary, just know that you are in this together. You cannot compete with anything. You cannot compete with salaries. Those salaries will be combined to build your house, to build your family. So you cannot compete. If your girlfriend earns more than you, it's okay, as long as you love each other, as long as you're in the same goal, as long as you're working towards something that will be for both of you. So there's no competition already. You need to maintain and make sure that you do not oppress a woman who's earning more than you, and that woman as well needs to make sure that she doesn't bring her salary all the time, that I am doing this and this. Guys, it's not important. Trust me, it is not important. If you are a woman and are earning way more than a man, and you think you can lead that relationship, we are not leaders. Men have the role to lead, and that doesn't mean that we are less important. God says we all have different roles, and our role is to submit. That doesn't mean that we are get abused. It means we submit because someone loves you so much, someone respects you so much, and you submit to such a person. So guys, if you have a salary that is higher than the boyfriend, and you see that he's the man who loves you, he's the man who cares for you, let your salary not be that thing that will separate this marriage, this beautiful relationship, because of money. Money is not the only thing. Money is not important. There are so many other things that are important, which you guys need to talk about. Let it not be money. Number 8. 8, tall, dark, and handsome cannot be the only thing that you want. And I know we as kids will grow up and say, okay, I want a Boris Kodjoe, I want a Denzel Washington, I want a Beyonce, I want this. Guys, those things are not important. And those people that you keep admiring and want a husband who's tall, and want a husband who's cute, and want a husband who's this and this, all this list that you have, it is not so important. You'll miss the one who loves you, who is not any of those things, but the husband who will love you, a husband who will provide for you, a husband who will take care of you when you are sick, a husband who will take care of the family, a husband who will protect you, but he is not cute. Are you going to lose your husband because you want tall, dark, and handsome? No, guys. No, guys, do not be fooled. That's not the most important thing. Actually, I don't even want to add it to the list. Go for the one who loves you. Go for the one who respects you. Go for the one who loves God. Tall, dark, and handsome. If you like him, maybe you get that. Good for you. But all these other things are important than him being cute, than her being a Coke bottle or Beyonce. That's not important, guys. That's not important. Trust me, it is not important. I know men who married beautiful women, but then they are struggling. Or women who married husbands who are cute and everything, but then they are struggling because the same man who is cute, or every other woman is looking at that man, and every other man is looking at that woman. I'm not saying if you're blessed and you found a wife who is cute and all nice, then it means you have to leave that person. Maybe that person is yours, but then do make sure that all the other boxes are ticked as well. But most importantly, they must love God. Number 9, guys, talk future. You meet a person today, you don't ask. It's like you're getting into a taxi and you don't ask where you're going. If a person is not giving you direction, why are you there? I mean, for 2 years, 3 years, a person is not telling you when you're getting married, when you're going to start a family, when. So these are the things that you need to discuss. First few days when you are meeting that person, you get to know a person. I can say the first week, you get to know the person. Second week, you need to know what are your plans in future. What do you like? Where do you want to go? Which house do you want to build? How many kids do you want? What if you stay there in that relationship only to find out that person is not interested in having kids, and then when you were there all this time, this person is not interested in having kids, but you didn't ask. You expect the person to smell. Ask the right questions. If you get into a taxi, you want to know where the taxi is taking you. That person must lead you. When I say the person must lead you, they must tell you where they are going. If you are going that way, then you guys can go together. And then they must tell you which belief that they believe in. And then if you both believe in the same God, and do make sure you go deeper, because some people do believe in God, but then at the same time they mix with ancestral worship, or at the same time they mix with ZCC, or at the same time they mix with all the other things. You want to know exactly which God are you talking about. Are you talking about the Christ who died on the cross for us, or are you talking about another God who lives in the mountain or who lives in water? So you need to make sure you are in the same page. Find out which church they go to. Find out who's the pastor. Find out his friends. Find out everything. While it's still early, you do not want to waste your time. That person must talk future. If they don't talk future, do not be dragged for 2 years, 3 years. When are you busy proving yourself, washing yake, proving yourself, doing all these things, only to find out it's not even going to Joburg. And when are you going to Joburg? So do make sure that you talk future so that you can get off that taxi while it's still early if it's not going the same place you are going. Number 10. He must be consistent. You know, when you start dating, we don't show our true colors. And we are all perfect, makeup, eyebrow, powder, I always look nice. But then the real me will come out. Even if I put makeup, even if I do my hair to look nice, but the real me, ulindi ongathandi ukama, ulindi ongathandi makeup, the one who doesn't wear makeup, will come out eventually. So if this guy, what attracted him to me is makeup or is the way I dress, and then if I'm not consistent, and then that will be something that will affect the relationship, because this guy didn't sign up for a girl who doesn't look a certain way. So do make sure you are yourself from the beginning, because then you can keep up with that. You can be consistent. Even when you move on to future, you'll still be the same Lindy. So this person needs to know while it's still early. And then if a person lies and you pick up which they lied about something will happen again which will expose more lies. And then that's what you will see. You start seeing the habits of him disappearing. You start seeing the habits of him treating you in a certain way. So if this person is not consistent, I'm not saying that a person won't make a mistake. A person will make a mistake, but then mistakes are there for us to learn. If the person keep making the same mistake over and over and over again, then you will see with the consistency that person is that way, and chances are they're not going to change, and you cannot change them. We like to think that we can change anyone. Trust me, I am not able to change my husband. All the things that he did while we're dating, he is doing even now. So you cannot change a person. So whatever you settle for while you are dating, those are the things you will see in future. So consistency, don't worry. The true colors will show. If this is the type of person who answers the phone ending and all of a sudden is answering outside, go ask what's happening. I want to know. It must be a person who's able to make you feel at home, who's able to make you understand, who's able to explain some things. If you say, I don't understand why you're answering your phone outside, you should be able to come and say, no, I had to answer outside because of this reason and this reason. So the one who's a phone name is personal and what. That person is not consistent. So just find out and make sure that you do know everything about that person. So those are the 10 things that you can check, 10 signs that you can check before you even commit to that relationship or even before you start going into marriage. So I'm now going to talk about 5 red flags that you must check. And then if these things happen, maybe you should consider running. Number 1 red flag is desperation. You date someone today, baby, I love you, or these pastors who like saying, God showed me, you my wife, okay, prepare, I'm bringing my parents next week. Isn't that bullying? If God shows that man of God, when are you the wife, God must also show you. You cannot imagine now, so you go ahead. Man of God says, but then how come when and there's so many factors that needs to be dealt with, like in premarital counseling. There's so many things. Desperation. If someone is pushing you, that's desperation. Maybe you need to slow that person down and start checking why are they desperate for marriage. Because if someone is desperate for anything, we tend to do and make the wrong decisions when we are desperate. Impulsive decisions comes when we are desperate. So if someone is desperate and pushing you, that person must wait. Why are they desperate? I'm not saying if someone meets you this month, they cannot marry you within 3 months. It can happen. But it must be something where you both agree. I'm going to pray. Not from your family, not from your friends, not from your pastor, not from your church. It must be something that both of you agree and there's no one who's desperate. Maybe both of you are at that point in your life where you feel like, you know what, we've waited long enough, or we both come from relationships that were not good. We are ready, but then it must be mutual. You must all agree that you want to get married. There shouldn't be anyone who's pushing someone to get married. So that's the first sign of red flag. It might mean maybe they're desperate, they're scared you'll be taken by someone else. And that fear, it's also not good. It needs to be dealt with. How can you marry someone because you want them in the market? It means you won't trust that person even when you are married. So such things need to be dealt with before you can get married. So that's the first red flag. Second red flag, you are hidden. No one knows you. You're just a girlfriend in his house. You're just a girlfriend in his townhouse. Or emkukwini wake. No one knows about you. You don't know his friends. You don't know his family. You don't know where he works. You know nothing. When you are called, you are picked up. We are hammer. We are rooming. Like, guys, if you don't know anything about him, their friends, and anyone, kushkuti, this person is not proud to have you as a girlfriend. I mean, if I am in love, I cannot wait to show my friends my boyfriend, or I cannot wait to show my family. But if this person is not even willing to show, I understand the family part. Maybe the person wants to confirm first, but then even his friends don't know you. Ashem, kona abamaziyo. So do make sure we are ziwa at least by someone, at least his friends. Number 3 red flag. Guys, he's forever not ready. 10 years. You've been dating 5 years. You've been dating and this guy is not paying amalobola. This guy is not preparing to marry you. Kanjani, how? I mean, obviously, most men will tell you, Gucci, the first 15 minutes, some said, not everyone, Uguti, they know Uguti, a person will be their wife. Guys, like, I know with my husband, he said he knew Uguti, I'll be the wife. So, I know it's not the same with everyone. So, a person who's not ready for 10 years, and then at the same time, you're still in their life, they do not want to let you go. And sometimes you will even have a child. And then they will have excuses, say, I do not have money to take, but they are partying every time, but they are buying clothes, but they are doing all these other things. They are even finishing their house, but then they are not ready to even commit. I mean, with the 2,000 yana at home to show Gucci they are responsible for you and they are promising to take care of you, they are promising to marry you. I don't think money is ever an issue when it comes to marrying someone, because you can get married for free, let and sign. The only thing that you need to do is to stand in front of the pastor and exchange vows. So I don't think marriage is the problem, the whole celebration is the problem, it's the person who's not ready. I know people who got married back in 2000 and now they are happily married. Money is never an issue. And a person must just work. A person must just work. If a person says they love you, they're going to take care of you, and they are not willing to pay 2,000 to show themselves giving, then there's a problem. They must be ready at some point. Or maybe they are not happy with you and then you committed too much to them. You showed everything that you have and then now they're still waiting. Maybe they're still thinking, someone will come, or you will forever stay in that relationship and not get married. Unless it is your choice. But I think commitment shows when someone wants to marry you. Number 4 red flag, guys. This one is dangerous. A person is obsessive. Like, they don't want you to go with your friends. They do not want you to be around your family. They do not want you to be anywhere. Hi guys, if the person is obsessive, guys, that's a sign. This person has issues. You cannot sit with someone. This person might even kill you one day when you decide, I'm breaking away from this bondage. This person, those are the ones that will actually kill you because they are so obsessed with you. They want to have you to themselves. They want to see you every day. I mean, a person who's content and happy with you, they want you to have relationship because we are people of relationship. We need to have relationship with our friends. That doesn't mean you go and all the time, you go spend time with your friends, but once in a while, maybe once or twice in a month, you need to spend time with someone, not just your family only or your husband only. So the one who's obsessive and doesn't want to even see your friends or even your family, that person is obsessive. And even control what you wear, that person is obsessive. You need to deal with that now, or even leave that relationship, because those are the ones who will abuse you because they now alienated you from everyone because they want you for themselves, and that's not healthy, guys. So the last one, number 5 red flag, is the one who owns you. I like the way Kanimba says it, Gucci, when you date a man who provides everything for you, they actually own you. And they will belittle you. And they actually own you. I mean, they bought you. I mean, they are paying for you. So you cannot go into a relationship where you are not contributing anything, guys. You cannot say, I am just going to be a housewife who just get money from the husband. Yes, maybe some of you are going to be housewife, but then there must be a contribution that you make in this man, so that when you are not there, they must feel good, hey, this person is not here, and they must still respect you. If they don't respect you, because when not only do you take a play cut and go spend money in my mall and come back and look cute and do all these things and have time to post on my Instagram and do what, and nothing, guys, nothing. I mean, nothing. No business, nyana, nothing. That man won't respect you, yes. That man won't respect you. They own you. You just a servant, a life in yabo. So guys, do something, like have something, even if maybe it's just your kids, focus on that. I'm not saying most men who marries women and then those women are not doing anything except taking care of their family. Some women, I'm not talking about the housewives, I'm talking about the girls who actually go into a relationship to be taken care of without any plan. And also find out maybe that person doesn't even have kids, all they do is to go to mall and spend. Guys, that person will belittle you. That person will own you. And Ukanimba explains it so much, Uguti. That person, you are their servant. You are their slave. So guys, please be careful. Find something to do, whether it's family, even if it's just family. Make sure that you are going to be that person who's respected. Make sure that when you leave, there must be something that felt. You are not there in their life. Contribute something. Don't be that girl who's just contributing Amawiv and all these things and going to all these places and you are not contributing. I mean, it doesn't make sense when are you sitting in Melrose Ark, you eating breakfast, taking all the photos, and then the poor guy is working, making all this money, and then coming to you and just deliver and just deliver. It will get to a point where someone who is nicer than you, who dresses nicer than you, who has a nice body than you, will come and replace you. So guys, make sure that your value is also felt in that relationship. So those are the 5 red flags that you can check. And please comment and add more. I'm sure I've left something. And please comment and remove if you think maybe one I didn't get it right. Please correct me because I'm just a human being like you. You can add and correct me and I will learn from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, share the video so that we can get more and more people to be careful before starting these relationships. And do remember, this is a series part 2, which is what is marriage. It's going to be the next video on this series. Thank you so much for watching, and do take care of yourself. And remember, you are a priority because God says you are the apple of his life. So you cannot afford to be treated like trash. Thanks so much for watching.